experience was unlike any other in my life, and I'm really happy we can share it with you and for them for having us. And I'd like to read something on behalf of Ezio, who was the filmmaker, and really someone who fought for this documentary to be made, and an incredible person, so we thank him and also wish he could be here, but these are his words about the documentary that you're going to watch. So. Photography freezes time and life. History examines pieces together, remembers and vacuously describes both. History and photography are part of my life. They are the source of my work and the everlasting spring of my understanding. They echo the sense of my being in the imperceptible and relentless ticking away of time. In the temporal expansion of my soul, they take me back to past realities, rekindle doubts and certainties, often making me dream. Photography shows history, documents events, acts as a repository for time, and is able to spark off moral reactions driving collective behavior. History ensures the past is not forgotten and transforms the fleeting instant into an everlasting memory. In the summer of 2013, I experienced history and photography morphing into one human being, the 93-year-old photographer Phil Stern. This prominent American photographer was a close friend of James Dean, pampered by Frank Sinatra, loved by Marilyn Monroe, and the darling of John F. Kennedy. I spent 12 days of my life with this genius who documented the make-believe world of Hollywood cinema in the post-war period. In these 12 days, the past and the present, the sacred and the profane, narrative and coverage, doubts and truth, were interwoven in a chronicle of remote yet transparent episodes that were still alive in this man's consummate memories. I was inside history, speaking about history, and when we discussed photography, I floated inside history. It was an unrepeatable experience. In his youth, this man had created a photographic record of wartime Sicily and Sicilians after landing on a sunny beach near Licata. And 70 years on, he was sitting on the shore of the same coastline, revoking the episodes, humanity, imagery, and meanings. He had been one of the liberators, one of the soldiers that came to die in Europe to liberate it and restore democracy. Yet, at times, this ambition wavered in the midst of atrocities of war. Just think, he said one day, many Sicilian youths set off for the United States to follow a dream. They then returned to build a house, and then their houses were bombed by our Air Force. While recollecting these days, Phil Stern's mind was no longer focused on heroes. The myth of being invincible was vanished after his wartime experience, and his return to Sicily had provided this man with the conviction that the only soul had managed to run the tangled and inexorable race against time. He had returned to Sicily to appease his conscience and lay his ghosts of war. His interrogative eyes were the driving force of the persons revolving around him those days. And this documentary reevokes his driving energy. I thank the Italian Cultural Institute of Los Angeles, its director Valerie Ramori, and thanks Tiziana Rocca, director of the Taormina Film Festival, for giving me the opportunity to present my work here in Los Angeles, where Phil Stern spent his entire life. Thank you, Peter, Ashley, and all the Stern family. Thank you all wherever you are. Ezio Costanza.